Scotty?
Oh, Kurt, I'm ready. Give me one.
Okay. Penguins, quote, may be aliens after scientists discover chemical from Venus in their poo.
Sure. That's very bananas. This is going to be a very bananas.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to Bananas. I'm Kurt Brownoler.
I am Banana Boy number 2, Scotty Landis. Thank you for listening. We're so glad to have you. We hope everybody's very happy on this Tuesday or whenever day you listen to this. It's up to you. It's your world.
Yeah, and remember, new show, Chicago, added to the mini tour. Go get tickets now. But I want to get right into our guest. I'm very
Get into
excited.
it. Me too.
Don't you dare get anywhere near me.
You can't talk
get
yet. You can't talk
sorry,
yet.
go back. Sorry. Sorry. But that's the sound of my entire life. You can't talk yet.
Our guest
hush,
today.
I'm not even here.
Pretend like you didn't hear
Beautiful
that.
intro.
Yeah. Shh, I'll hide.
Our guest today is not only, listen to this. Our guest today is not only a brilliant stand-up.
True.
She is also a stupendous actor and
Very
a
good.
horrifyingly good writer.
Incredible.
She impressed you in the fantastically funny Netflix series Living with Yourself, starring opposite Paul Rudd. She's in the goddamn new Home Alone movie. What the fuck? Coming out soon. But most importantly, she's the creator and writer and star of the heartbreakingly funny and moving This Way Up, both seasons currently available on Hulu in the States and on Channel 4 in the UK. Lay dudes and gentle thems, please welcome a woman I last saw at my house taking people's crotch temperatures, Aisling.
Well, if there isn't a way to get in a bit of celebrity scandal at the end there, Kurt, you really did me a dirty, as they say over here sometimes. You absolutely did me a dirty at the end of that one, Kurt. Did me a right dirty.
That's not untrue, but it was my crotch temperature thermometer she was using. So
yes,
I set you up for that one.
You absolutely. And now the whole taking people's temperature has really taken off.
Yeah.
Since that party.
Yeah, makes you wonder.
It was an old bit I used to do where I have like a laser thermometer. So Aisling was nowhere near anyone's crotch.
For meat.
No.
Yeah. From across the room, shooting lasers at people's.
It wasn't that consensual. I was definitely going up to people and going, sorry, this is Kurt's meat thermometer and he tests the temperature of people's crotches. Can I do yours? Oh, I'm already doing it. So I wouldn't say it was totally consensual, if I'm brutally honest.
That's all right.
Once old Party B comes out, the enthusiasm.
I love Party B. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for being on.
I know. Bloody hell, Kurt. The last time I saw you, you were so short and you had brown hair and you sound like Kristen Schaal. Oh, no, that was Kristen. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Sometimes you two are just the same.
The same person.
They look remarkably similar.
Yeah.
Very similar look, very similar voice. Just two peas in a pod.
I remember that was Kurt's, I'm not sure, Scotty, if you were invited, but that was Kurt's Christmas do. In, I think, the winter of 2018. And I thought to myself, oh my God, that was kind of a bad year, man. I cannot wait to put that year behind me. No, it was 2019. And I'll start the year 2020. Breathe it in, boys. This one's gonna be different.
Yeah, they keep getting better. Each year better than the last. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Oh, yeah, that was the last party.
What I've learned is don't hope. Don't ever, ever hope.
Hope is the thief of joy.
Yeah, it's the hope that kills you in the end, you know? Yeah, that was a good, was that even the last party I went to? Hardly, but still, you know?
Yep.
What's this about penguins then, guys? What's this about bloody penguins being aliens?
I'll tell you.
Is there nothing sacred left?
There's nothing sacred left. That title was a bit of exaggeration. That was from the Daily Star. We're not going to take the news from the Daily Star, okay? We're going to take it from the Science Times, which I've never heard of either.
Fake news. My crystal healer tells me that that's a shit magazine.
This was sent in by BK Thor on Instagram. Thank you, BK.
Thank you.
This was written by Marie Morales on September 13th, 2021.
She's really good. She's a great, great Penguin journalist.
I'd say she's best in the biz.
Best in the biz.
Here it is. This is the more chilled out titles. Penguin feces containing element usually found on Venus discovered. So I am not going to report. Oh my God, the Daily Star was the first one to report on this. Anyway, I'm not going to read the whole thing. Basically, here's what it is. Okay?
Sum it up for me, Kurt, in one of your witty ways.
Phosphine is the element, and it is found only in penguin shit and badger shit and Venus. Okay?
All right.
Hey, so we've got a case here.
Yes.
They know each other somehow, the badgers and the penguins, but how?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's created by some, some bacteria in their shit creates the phosphine. But it's not that penguins were on Venus, or maybe it is, but it's
so.
the actual opposite.
Don't be so small-minded, Kurt.
Yeah, open it up.
I can keep it open.
Yeah.
It's more that they think that phosphine in the atmosphere of Venus means that there are animals on Venus. Now, the question is, are they like penguins in some way, is the question.
Like, don't bring Muhammad to the mountain, bring the mountain to Muhammad. Do the penguins go chicken and egg, except penguins and Venus?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, which arrived first and shat. Yeah.
But that's a great movie. That's a Pixar movie. Take a badger and a penguin and then launch them to Venus. That's a great, and see what happens.
Yeah,
it's a buddy.
It's a buddy movie. They don't get along at first.
Yeah, it's the new Milo and Otis, but like way less animal torture. That's like a really good idea.
Hey, why don't you walk normally, like me, a badger? This is the only way I know how to walk. But it's taken us ages to get anywhere. You can barely fit in that tunnel I've made for us.
There are the two animals that walk the funniest, a badger and a penguin.
Do you think they were like short-sighted from afar? They were like, oh, look, another badger. And the penguin thought, oh, look, another penguin. And then they got up close and they were like, oh, shit, we're just the same color.
Yeah.
We've nothing got to do with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And did they say this is because it's what they eat? This is to say because they live in Antarctica? What is there any explanation at all, or are they just checking out penguin crap?
They don't know. They don't know why, but they do know that phosphine. It seems to only be a biological, off gassing, and so that's what.
Does it only come from poo poo?
It could be.
Phosphine.
Could be that Venus is full of shit. That could be the.
That's what she said it to her. That's what her therapist said to her. What else does phosphine come from? I say like your Marie was it Margulies in the Science Times.
It's literally
what else can we get phosphine from?
It's only Gen 2 penguin shit and badgers. That's where they find it in America.
So there's no other place that gas comes out of.
I just referred to the Earth as America, FYI.
Oh my God! Oh my God, Kurt, they've got you. They finally got you.
They got you.
It only took 1 million lockdowns in 2 years, but they got you, buddy.
Broke his brain.
America, a.k.a. everywhere, says that we don't know. So we don't know.
Do they have penguins in Ireland?
God. They do in Dublin Zoo. They have a couple of the lads there flapping about in the rain.
That's it.
Yes, I don't think penguins would be native to Ireland, though there is a dolphin in the south of Kerry called Fungi.
And
you know about
Fungi.
Fungi.
He's disappeared.
Poor Fungi.
Then he disappeared, and everyone's like, well, he's already dead because he's fungi, and that would mean that there's no hope left at all. So we wonder where he's gone after 20, 30 years.
Hopefully he just went away. Yeah, went for a vacation.
Yeah, just, everyone needs a bit of like, R&R. Is that R&R? Rest and research?
Yeah.
No, every now and again.
But he's been replaced. He's been replaced by Wally the Walrus.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, in Ireland.
Is he replaceable?
Well,
it's just like as a stand-in, like maternity leave or something.
It's something else to pay attention to. Wally's been sinking.
Or like
boats.
when you were on tour and someone else helps host with Kristen.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. But he's coming back, right? Still gonna host Hot Tub.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's incredible. It's weird, like the things that we hope for as humans. Like we think, oh my God, that could mean there's animals on Venus.
That's right.
And we get so obsessed with that. You're like, lads, there are so many problems down here that even if, for example, there was like a sentient animal who had loads of computers and all sorts and lived in Venus and was slowly making houses that humans could live in, we'll all have killed ourselves down here from all of our aerosols and meat and crap before we even get to there. But like, we're like, oh my God, then maybe we could live there. There's no, that's not happening, lads. That's not us. It's not us, guys. It's whatever, little beetles are left at the end. They might be like, maybe I have a girl, but they're not coming for us. So not that it doesn't matter, but does it matter?
We do like to do that. It's true. And it's also like sometimes you're wondering about scientists. You're like, I guess that leads to bigger discoveries and that's why they're going for it. Maybe one day they find the cure for cancer and badger shit. But it is like thing I'm like, there's other problems we could be tackling right now instead of just being like, ooh, how gassy are these penguins? What's going on with these guys?
Also, I do love the things I'm less interested in phosphine and more interested in the coffee that you can get from weasels. You can get like coffees from weasels' poo. Mm-hmm. And that to me is a bigger discovery than phosphine and that there could be animals on Venus. I'm like, yeah, great. I hope they have a great time. Do you know that some of our coffee weasels shit out their ass?
And bats, too. I think bats shit out some coffees as well. Some delicious coffees.
Good time.
That must be unpopular at the moment, surely.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I bet there are stockpiles of that in the Corona beer warehouse. They're just like, we just can't shift the stock. For some reason.
Scotty, do you have another one for us?
I do. Aisling, when I heard you were coming on, I was like, I'm going to get an Irish news story. I have to find one. And that day, one of our listeners that we call Bananimals sent me something from the irishnews.com. And typically, this story takes place in Toronto. So very sorry, but it was in irishnews.com. It was sent in by Devin D.K. Allward or Devin D. Colward. Not sure. No writer. The Irish News, they don't care. We'll go with the Irish News staff.
There's no writer for the article.
It just appeared on Irish News.
It's the same guy who writes all those quotes for Instagram, just anonymous. Hey, follow the road you're meant for. Also, here's an article in the news.
Here's one, and it's a crime story. We like dumb crimes on this podcast. Yeah. Man charged with breaking and entering is caught after leaving photocopy of his face. So, the police were searching for a man they believe made a photocopy of his own face and left it behind after breaking into a building, and they have made an arrest. Officers in Toronto have been searching since August 23rd for a man they said broke into a commercial property, ate some food, photocopied his face, and left. Handily, the police investigating the crime found the photocopy of the man's own face that he left as a printout on the property. Now, police have charged the man, Gary Samuel Lambie, or Lamb of Toronto.
Gary Lambie?
And he was arrested on an unrelated so he got arrested for something else, but they already had his mugshot that he made, a nice black and white photocopy of his own face. The photo is so good on the website. It's basically... It's not as if he smashed his face on it. It's more like he looked down, opened the door, pushed it. Oh. So it's just kind of like a light, ghostly image of him. He's wearing a cap. But it's exactly, you could pick this guy out from 20 yards away.
It doesn't bode well that they took him a while to find it. Yes. You know that sometimes you go in, you do a police report, you take a description, you're like, how are we going to find him from this exact photocopy of his face?
But also, think about the psychology of a person who's like, oh, what is this? Never seen a photocopier before? I'll open it up. What are all these buttons? And then just never look.
This is revealing how many office jobs or photocopying of flyers you've had to do, Kurt.
Yeah.
Because oh my God, do you not even know what a microphone stand is? What next? Maybe he works in a different industry than one with photocopying. Maybe he's a handwriter or
a handwriter.
Maybe he's got... Yeah, maybe he's just one of those people who just likes to handwrite things, you know.
With the occasional breaking and entering, and sometimes when he gets hungry, he just breaks into commercial properties and starts chowing down.
Do it. Oh my God, hunger is awful, guys. Do it. Break in. Photocopy your face just to pass the time between digestion and
you have to
just something.
Build meaning for yourself.
Can I just say though, I remember when I was about, I'd say 7, and it was a perfect crime. I really wanted to write, because I'm like, oh, was he like, I'll photocopy my face and people will think no one could have done that, so they won't think it was me. Like that'll just be someone else. It's so stupid that
nobody would
people will think that it couldn't possibly. Yeah, this dumb. And I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to write my name on, around the edge of the door frame, the wooden bit. I knew I'd get in trouble, but I was like, oh God, I just really want to write my name on the door frame.
Natural.
And I just learned to write. And I was like, no, I won't write my name. I'll write Sinead, my sister's name.
Smart.
So then Mommy will think it's Sinead. And then I was like, no, I'll write my name, because no one would be dumb enough to write their own name. Then Mommy will know that it was Sinead had wrote my name to frame me.
Wow.
And so I wrote my name, had a great time. And then Mommy was like, oh, Sinead. And I was like, Sinead did it. And she's like, Sinead doesn't know how to write. I was like, God damn it. The one thing.
But I love that was the idea, was to put her name.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, so Sinead would be like, write Sinead. I'm like, nah, that's too dumb. That's too obvious. So I went back to full circle. And I remember being like, God damn, Sinead can't write.
Pretty sophisticated thinking for a 7-year-old, though. You were weighing a lot of options. You were going down a lot of mental paths and outcomes. Yeah. Really good.
I recently had the same similar thing happen with Olive and Gus. On the wall, one day we just look over on the wall. There's a huge circle with then a bunch of little circles inside the big circle, and just really drawn on the wall. Okay. And it's right at Olive's height. And we bring Olive over and we're like, did you do this? And she looks at it genuinely like, no, I didn't do this. And it's like really genuine. It's at perfect her height. And then we bring Gus over, and Gus would have to go on his tippy toes and like use his, and like just reach up there.
Reaching for the stars.
And also, Gus can't draw a circle. No. And she's like, this must be Gus. And we're like, are you sure? Because it's like, it's right at your level. And I don't think Gus can draw a circle. She's like, but look at these. These wheels, I don't know how to draw wheels. And we're like, how do you know they're wheels?
Oh my God, all of you were so close to getting away with it
almost
too.
Did it.
See, when I think of Olive now, I think of her me like a sort of latent genius that's going to come into her own later in life at some point.
She's very
I feel like that's very clever. It's manipulative. Yep. It's exactly the type of woman I want to see more of in this industry. Yes, Olive. Cannot wait to meet you as a teen in jail.
Yeah, that's right. In jail. She almost got. That's like the classic cop show thing, though. It's like, and they was stabbed to death. We
just
didn't say that there was a.
How did you know they were wheels? Olive.
He did say that to her. How do you know they're wheels? She's like, look at them.
Absolutely perfect response. Well, you do the math. They're there.
When I was a little guy, a friend of mine, my buddy Charles, his dad ran his own company, and in their basement, they had a photocopier machine. And when we were little guys, like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, one of the things we liked to do when he would have us spend the night is we'd bring all of our stickers over. So, like, skateboarding companies or bands, or even bands we didn't like Grateful Dead skulls because they looked cool. And we'd put them all down, and we'd make copies of them as, like, a collage and call them posters. And then we'd hang these black and white posters up. And we would do this until 1 a.m. It was so fun to make these we'd hand them out to kids in school. It was so fun. So then the next time we went over, weeks later, we had discovered that you could sit on it and make copies of your butt. And the whole time, his younger brother Daniel, who was probably 6 or 7 or so, was like watching us make posters, hanging out with the older kids, watching us scan our butt, hanging out with the older kids. And then, like months later, I go over and Charles is like, I found my dad's Playboys. And we were like, oh my God. So then we're making stickers and photocopies of perfectly visible, clear, colorful Playmate photos, and we're making really crappy gray, black, white copies.
So you were the reason Hugh Hefner is so broke right now.
That's right.
This was pirate.
Whoa.
This was original pirating.
Original pirate porn.
Yeah. We were porn pirates back before it was cool and before we were 12. So we were doing this, but we were so nervous. We were like good little kids, so we would like destroy them instantly, like crumple them up and cut them up and throw away the little photocopied
Oh, really? That's so funny.
Playboys.
Like just the act of making them was the exciting part, and then you would destroy them. You wouldn't take them home or anything.
No, and then we were like so nervous that we would like see what order the different Playboys were in. So we would be like, this woman was on the first one, and then the second one down was this woman, the third one down was this one.
That's Janine. She was 95.
Yeah.
That's
So
Mary Beth loves polo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that last time we were doing the Playboy ones, we like put them back. We go upstairs, we go up to the bedroom, we fall asleep, and in the morning we come downstairs, and his mother's waiting in the kitchen for us, and there's a photocopy on the kitchen table. And she goes, "Do you guys need to explain yourself?" And I look at it, and it is a butt, the hint of a testicle, and then the top half of a naked woman on one photocopy. And the younger brother had seen us doing it, and to be extra cool with the big guys, sat on it with the Playboy and scanned his butt and the naked woman. It was the most disturbing bowl of cereal I've ever had.
And kids, you're sort of like, oh no, and even you telling this as an adult, you're like, oh no, am I a pedophile now?
Yeah.
Is this making a pedophile? Somehow a kid's butt beside a Playboy?
Yes, and it was like, explain yourselves. And I'm looking at this thing, and it would defied all logic. It was not normal. It was a little boy's butt and a playmate's breasts. And she was like, you guys are never allowed to go in your father's office again. The little brother was just crying upstairs because he knew he had been busted, but he had forgotten to destroy it. So his thing was like, his little crime was, I'm going to photograph
I
my
also
butt.
love that he just combined it all. It was just like he just smashed the things together and was like, this is cool, right?
Yes.
Instead made something so
My
horrifying.
butt and boobs. What's not to love? They have everything else on the shelves.
Yeah, exactly.
Boys, I found your cover.
I haven't talked to
Oh
this
my
guy
God,
in
I
25
love that.
years. I hope he doesn't have some weird kink now later in life. But yeah, it was just an image of a horror movie right in front of you as soon as you saw it. Oh God,
A
it
hint
was
of a
so
testicle.
fun.
Sounds so cute when you say it as a child's one. A hint of a testicle.
That's right. Curdy B, you going to tease us into a break?
I'll tease us into a break here, guys.
Ooh.
Just like that lazy tease that butt onto the photocopy machine.
It's an update. Remember way back when that candy man was offering a treasure hunt for the golden ticket so that you could inherit his
Ashley,
candy
you gotta
factory.
hear about this. It's amazing.
Well, a man in Colorado has found the golden ticket and now owns a candy factory.
Incredible.
We'll get back into it right after this.
Oh, wait, no, I thought this was like a Candyman thing. As in, like, like
the movie.
I can't get you.
No, this is a real candy
No,
man.
this is a sweet shop person.
Yeah, sweet shop person.
Hit a golden ticket.
A sweet factory person.
A sweet factory owner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Kurt, that's not a story. That's an old movie and based on a book by Roald Dahl.
Oh.
What you've done is not read the news. That's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, is that why this is a book and not my computer?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Well, more on that right after this. And we are back. Do we have any shout-outs before we get back into it, Scotty?
The only one, and people have been asking, Ashling, I'm doing a thing called Door to Shore where I'm walking out the front door of my house, walking across Los Angeles and into the ocean, about 15 and a half miles. Kurt's going to join me for most of it, and I'm doing it for charity for Cast LA, which is a supports victims of human trafficking who have been recovered, and it helps them with therapy and housing. So I had to push it from September 1st because I had jury duty for a very long time to October 1st. So everybody who's asking and donating, thank you so much. I am doing it October 1st. I will be live streaming it as much as I can on the Bananas podcast on Instagram, and that's it. And thank you. We're almost at $12,000. Thank you everybody who donated. It's beautiful. So Door to Shore, October 1st. We'll see you then. Thanks for the support.
Door to Shore, folks. I thought I had a shout out here, but I now cannot find it. Oh, we do have the first. I'll do this shout out. We do have the first Best in the Biz tattoos.
Yeah, go on.
Multiple people that it was at Trusty Chords 25 and at Skate Bush.
Great work.
At skate.bush.
Awesome.
They're beautiful. They're a banana. It says the best in the biz. They both got one. And guys, we love you. If you ever come to see us live, you let us know.
Free beers. And I'm buying you free beers.
Free beers. And you get in free.
Absolutely.
That's for those people only. I don't know.
So that means that their life-changing decision to brand themselves with your podcast will cost you guys about $10.
That's right.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well, hope you're all satisfied with your life-changing permanent branding of the podcast.
Aisling,
right.
This Way Up is absolutely amazing.
Very special.
It's so good.
Have you watched the second series yet?
I have not. I'm still on the first series. I'm very excited to get into the second series. Like from the difference between the two, what did you like?
Do you hate it or something,
Aisling?
That was a very interesting response. Series 2.
Oh no,
you
know what it is, and thank you so much for talking about it. It's so obviously have a bigger profile in the UK, but we don't have a big marketing budget for the show. We don't have loads of money that suddenly you'll see like a load of adverts or like things popping up when you're trying to Google, Irish dolphin, where is he now?
Yeah.
An advert from my show will kind of come up in your algorithms. So genuinely, and you know what this is like, Kurt, like when you're trying to push something yourself, like stand-up is a very solo job, and it's pretty much a one-man machine, my show. In terms of like from start to finish, writing it to selling it and pushing it and doing all the press and stuff like that. So every time someone likes it or tweets about it or just gives it some word of mouth, I'm so proud of it. But it's a long slog, and making the second series during COVID was a really battering experience.
I
can't even imagine. Yeah, I was reading.
Yeah, and it was in January with the lockdowns here, and Christmas had been cancelled, and you're sort of trying to compensate for morale and try not to take it personally that it's not like going to work is extremely fun, and all you want to make for your crew especially is like a fun environment. So even if people don't like it on the other end, which thankfully hasn't happened, at least the journey won't have been awful. Yeah. But with COVID and everything, it's just it was such a weight. All of it, and it wasn't like the fun part of COVID where it was like 2020. It was the kind of hope had been knocked the shit out of everyone. So it's just been a real slog, not from a creative point of view or the actual art without being a wanker itself, but the actual process. It's like doing all of this. If like normally I'd be in LA and we'd come and see each other and we'd all look each other in the eyes and do our classic everyone makes out with each other thing, and
check each other's crotch temperatures. We get
exactly. Photocopy our asses besides some porn. We know the things. We know what normal is, and this is not normal.
No.
But we're all recording these podcasts, and even for the people listening, they might get an opportunity to come and see one live or something like that, or out in the street. And they're really those things do more for you physically and health-wise than you realize. Eye contact and touch and a little hug, and humans are designed to be doing that. Yeah. And so stripping all these things away, while it's absolutely lovely to see you guys, it's like 10% lovely out of the possible 100. Like sometimes when I'd go backstage and meet Kristen and Kurt and we'd be doing a gig, like it's my favorite place in the world to be, is backstage with a few other comedians.
Yes.
Nervous, we're all nervous for some reason. However many years into the business, we're all still a bit like, why this job?
Energy of it,
that energy, and you absorb it, and you're like, oh, that's what you do it for, rather than the kind of Zooms. Like after this, I'll close my laptop and then go back to digging the body. No, sorry, just covering over the. I didn't mean to say digging the body. Can we edit that bit out?
Yep.
Out of the garden in the front, and definitely edit the bit about I said about the garden as well. So that's the not trying to be negative, but like it is really lovely when people watch it. But yeah, it's just
it's an incredible show. It's our listeners who haven't. It's on Hulu stateside, so I popped up. It was recommended for me, so it was recommended on Hulu before I knew you were coming on Bananas, and I dove in. And I think our listeners are going to love the show because it's extremely funny. But like Kurt said, it's very moving, very emotional. I will do no spoilers, but there's a scene with the mother character, your mother, in the show that totally caught me off guard. I didn't see it coming. I thought you were going to have a combative relationship the entire time, as many sort of sitcoms and stuff do. And instead, you threw a twist in there, and I thought it was excellent. It caught me totally off guard.
I think what I like about writing humans is I think I've been I'm sure maybe you've had this, Kurt, you know, when you have to arrive and do 3 lines as an actor and you still get the same amount of energy and you're not given much to work with. I think writing my own show as an actor later in life rather than kind of like in my early 20s getting a big deal like I wanted was that like I never took for granted that someone, especially with the second series and COVID and knowing people had to isolate and come out of lockdown to be on my show. And what a genuine risk that was to their lives. Is that if someone has 3 or 4 lines, give them something else. Like there should be something else there with the character and that there should be something to play with. And I think we all want to box people into a narrative about like the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the cheater, the angel, the demon, the mess, the together one. Yeah. And especially with female characters, I fucking hate the mess versus together.
Yeah.
Right.
And I kind of tried to push against that of like, just because you're unwell or you're single, that's not a mess. That's like you're kind and you've got so much going for you and there's a nobility in just getting through the day. And that's really why I wanted to kind of make the show and write the show. And so, so that's like a big part of what I wanted to write in places was just sort of do surprising things, but not in the sort of like big scale murder plot twist. That's surprising from a character point of view because people do surprise you and we all want to know exactly who someone is. And I found it really interesting that there was a psychologist that said that the brain needs to calm itself down a beginning, middle and end to a story.
Yes.
And that we as humans find it really hard to handle like not knowing. So, why did we fight? Was I a bad person or was you a bad person? A or B? Let me know and then I can move on.
Yeah.
Right.
But what about the mess of in between of where, well, actually you didn't call me first. Yeah, but you don't get my text. No. Oh, well then, and all that mess. And the first series I wanted to write kind of a comedy about loneliness and just to see if I could make it funny.
Yes.
And then the second series is a lot more about communication. And it definitely got influenced by the pandemic of like when we miss each other and when we get each other. And other stars in it, just in case anyone's like, oh, loneliness, boring. Sharon Horgan, Emmy nominated Sharon Horgan, recent Emmy Award winner Tobias Menzies, Prince Philip from The Crown, Indira Varma from Game of Thrones, Kadif Kerwin from The Stranger on Netflix. All the stars.
Filled with stars.
But
great show.
All the stars. But yeah, so that's what I kind of wanted to explore because I find I'm like that quite a lot. I'm like, I like them, I don't like them, and then every time I feel someone doesn't like me, I try to go and think of an enemy and think of why they're lovely because I believe in karma. And I'm like, I hope right now the person I think hates me is doing the exact same.
Yes.
Well, maybe she was just under a lot of pressure that day. And it's like my karma kind of like putting kind of 50p in a box to see if like someone else will put a bit of change into a box somewhere for me, you know?
It pays off. It comes back around.
And that is, I think that that complexity of character is something that just makes the show so human and so relatable and so fucking funny too.
Yeah,
just like
great show.
The surprisingness of it as well. So everyone go and watch it right now on Hulu. This Way Up.
Turn off this podcast and go and watch it right
keep
now.
Listening. Keep listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah, not now. Sorry.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Will you do a big now at the very end of this?
Yes,
then
we will.
Know to go
Turn
and watch
on
it
This
now,
Way Up. We'll do a
Hulu.
countdown and get Hulu teed up.
All right, you want to hear about Candyman?
Love it.
This is great.
Yes. Yeah, go on.
This was written by...
he wore a tall hat and had a limp as he walked towards the gate. Kurt, this isn't news. This is Willy Wonka.
Oh my God, this is so exciting because this is written by Carson Gerber,
Best in the frickin' business.
From
that
the
guy or gal.
From the Kokomo Tribune. The Kokomo Tribune.
Oh, okay. I've been to Kokomo.
This is some people. A bunch of people sent this in, but Alicia Ann was the first I saw it from. This is in Kokomo, Indiana. For over 3 months, a small necklace with a golden ticket attached lay buried in the ground at Highland Park, waiting to be found. Andrew Moss, a 39-year-old father from Colorado, did just that. On August 29th, he walked into the park and dug up the ticket hidden beneath the Vermont covered bridge. And with that, he became the new owner of a 4,000-square-foot candy factory in Florida. The find was a culmination of a year-long, nationwide, Willy Wonka-inspired treasure hunt. That's for you, Aisling.
Amazing.
That had 35,000 people solving riddles and then scouring the country for golden tickets hidden in every state. And we actually staked like 3 bananimals to do this as well back in the beginning of this podcast. I don't think one of them was this man, Andrew Moss.
Maybe one of them was Slugworth.
It was still worth it. The National Scavenger Hunt was orchestrated by David, quote, Candyman Klein, who developed the world-famous Jelly Belly brand in 1976 and founded Candyman Kitchens. Last year, he and his partner, Stephanie 30acre, drove around the country hiding the tickets in every state, and then creating 4-line riddles leading hunters to the prize. 1,000 people were allowed to register for each state hunt, and the finder was awarded a $5,000 prize.
Cool.
We just got in the car and went, we do things really spontaneously, 30acre said.
I like spontaneously. It surprises you. It's a better pronunciation of that word.
Sometimes when you're reading and you're live, the words come at you faster than your brain understands them.
Absolutely.
Oh, Kurt, you can't be expected to read and speak them.
No.
Just say it as I see it, Kurt. Say it as I see it.
So this was out there. Then this guy, Andrew Moss, came across the contest. So they're like very excited about it. Moss said he did solve the riddle for the ticket in Kansas and was on his way to get it when another contestant beat him to it 1 minute before he arrived.
Wow.
Then on Memorial Day weekend, the final riddle for the last ticket was released for everyone who had registered for the state hunts. It read, this is a pretty difficult riddle, I think.
Yeah.
Can you do it in an English accent, please? I know Willy Wonka with an English, but just like give us something to work with here.
Yeah. Don't have an instant idea for a treasure die hard. We see witches nearby to stand guard. Go solve in search as low as I toe. I find a nut that walks a no foe.
Sort of like a New Jersey Oliver Twist. I like it. A little Dickensian.
Did it sound like you were in Camden Town?
It sounded like there was someone outside my window here in London where I sit trying to tell me where a magic ticket was. That was impeccable.
That accurate.
Tell me this and tell me no more.
Yeah.
Did they inherit $5,000 or a factory?
So there was 50 different. Each state had its own thing, and so if you won the state ticket, you got $5,000.
Amazing.
But then this was the nationwide one for the actual.
Bloody hell!
I love this so much.
Factory. So they gave out a lot of money.
Good for them.
Do you think, though, that actually those people inherited a huge amount of debt and went bankrupt immediately, and it was all a trick? Here's a factory and a check, an invoice, $750,000 to the IRS.
We've defaulted on all our loans. That's exactly right. Well, that's so cool.
Yeah, so they found it. It was, that was the riddle. They whittled it down to this town called Kokomo in Indiana.
Because of the Beach Boys?
Because of the Beach Boys, because of the line. The line is kind of it says, don't have an instant idea. So it's like Kokomo.
Get there fast and take it slow. That's where we want to go.
Yes.
Way down in Kokomo.
So it's like, take it slow,
Never heard
not
the song.
an instant idea. That's a kind of tough.
I wonder, did they pick Kokomo because cocoa is in the title?
In chocolate,
for a chocolate reason.
I like that.
The Candyman can. The Candyman can, because he mixes it with love. I really want to know You know, I watch lots of before and after TV shows.
You got to.
I absolutely love them. I follow them on Instagram where it's like, we took this rough door and painted it and varnished it. And I'm like, oh, just give me the after. Oh, let's see.
Let's see that on
I want
door.
let me see that treated door.
I want that TV show, but for meth addicts. We took this friendly couple and gave them meth for 5 years.
But I wonder, I'd love to see in a year's time if the people who inherited the business have ran it into the candy ground.
He's
or
already
just like
sold
gotten
it.
Really like their teeth have fallen out. They're just like too much candy. You know what happened?
They sold it already, unfortunately.
Good. Smart.
Did they?
They sold it back to the guy who gave it to them.
What?
Because they have 2 kids and they didn't want to move to Florida. Smart move. They live in Colorado.
Well,
so
there
the
you
man
go.
already had given out his money, gave away his factory, then had to spend money buying it back.
Yes. I mean,
That's
you know,
cool.
they worked it out.
That's the worst end to this film ever. It's like all the worst parts of humans. That's the most like unromantic,
I know.
nonsense, like not nice. Everything went wrong. That means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also,
worse.
why did he try and find it if he didn't really want a candy factory?
They're spontaneous.
Well, that's the ultimate riddle, Kurt.
Spontaneously.
The real riddle is humanity.
That's right. And capitalism. Why? Why do we insist? Last year during the Great Quar, early, like April-ish, a bunch of my college buddies who I hadn't talked to in years, we kind of started a Zoom where we would drink and catch up and just see how all the different cities and states were doing. And one of my buddies, Brendan, joked about, do you think Kokomo is a real place? And then we went down, because of the Beach Boys song, and we went down a wormhole and discovered that in Indiana there is a place called Kokomo. And so I rented a car and drove out there during the Great Quar. Remember that, Kurt? I just drove there because I was like from Los Angeles to, I think
classic door to shore behavior. Still on it after all these years.
And I was like, I can't be around people. Let's see what Kokomo, Indiana has to offer. It has everything from vape stores. You can buy all the vaping equipment you want. They have a giant praying mantis at their Subway. They have a giant steer called Old Ben, which was like a 5,000-pound steer that you could take a photo with.
What's a steer?
Like a bull.
Oh, a bull.
Like cattle, yeah.
Why didn't you just say bull then, Scotty?
I don't know. That's what they call it in Kokomo. They take things fast, and then I got there very slowly. It was extremely cold. The mayor of Kokomo tweeted at me when I got back, just like, thank you so much for putting us on the map. I'm like, hey, I didn't. I just came and saw it. And
I love that.
We have listeners there, Kurt and Kokomo. And,
really?
Go take a picture with Old Ben for us. We love Old Ben.
Have they any bars that are called, or like any banks that are called Kokomo Money, Kokomo Problems?
No, but
I think that should be around them.
And when things really go sideways, the 3 of us should get together and open that pub.
Yes.
Kokomo Money, Kokomo Problems.
Oh my God! Big shout out to everyone in Kokomo.
Yeah. Them out.
Oh, not that they need any shout outs. I bet they've had enough shout outs now after all this drama. We need to find a new smaller town that needs a bit of a something about them.
All right, give us
Tupelo.
one more.
Tupelo, Mississippi. We're coming for you.
I think we got time for one more here.
One more? Okay. Well, speaking of steer and bulls, we'll go with other things animal related. Riduff_B or Riduff_B sent this in. This was written by Drew Olenoff for BillyPen.com. Kurt, aren't you always on BillyPen.com?
You kidding me? It is my desktop. It just constantly replaces whatever Billy Penn is doing.
Aisling texted me about BillyPen.com years ago, and you were right. Really good
I did,
website.
but I was actually about the website billypenis.com and I misspelled it. Yeah.
Well, I found that one too.
billypeen.com. Yeah, that's why. I was wondering why you were just so positive when you replied, but okay, yeah.
I love it. So this is a little bit of a story. This is more like a blog post, not just a news story. And at Yoda on, I guess, Twitter was posting this. That is Drew Olenoff, the writer of this blog post. So this is a saga. Hold on to your butt cheeks. I moved back from Philadelphia about 4 years ago. I never saw myself as a, quote, suburb dweller, end quote. But during lockdown, it became obvious that living in South Philly was not in the cards for me much longer. We needed space. We needed land, a place for our dogs to run, fewer neighbors. So, August 2020, we make the move. I'm not going to give our exact location, but we're close to Valley Forge. We have an acre. We have 20 trees. It's been interesting to say the least. And then yesterday happened.
Shit.
What is it?
Yesterday happened. Shit.
Oof. We bought an old house, like over 100 years old. Tons of work needs to get done. But over the past week, we've had 3 crews working tons of hours. HVAC, electric, bathroom remodeling. They are awesome.
I am so excited. I have no idea what's going to happen.
This just sounds like someone who's definitely a suburban person bragging.
Yeah. Check this shit out. So the electricians got started super early, and while cracking on the work in the attic, one of our electricians comes downstairs as if he's seen a ghost. Did he see a ghost? Quote, so you have a raccoon in your attic, and well, he's eating king crab legs, and he hissed at me, and he's built quite a nest up there. It's fucking nice up there. So my wife, April, and I started asking questions, but I needed to jump into action. A raccoon in our attic, and he's stuck eating crab legs. Rightfully so. This is very weird. So, as one does, I took to Twitter. At Yoda is this guy's handle, which is incredible. He got at Yoda. That seems like an early Twitter guy.
Yeah.
Early Twitter guy. So I took to Twitter to share whoever gave a crap about what was happening. And it turns out a lot of people were interested in king crab legs.
King crab legs, as in like the legs
Seafood.
of a king crab from the sea.
From Alaska.
Oh my God.
That you would eat in like a casino in Las Vegas or,
Yeah. It was one of those things like the steer that I was like, is this what I think it is? I just didn't even think raccoons were fish people. You know, they just don't strike me as fish people.
Yes. So April, his partner, hops on the phones repeating the phrase, quote, we have a raccoon in our attic. Can you please help us? Over and over. I'm laughing. The electricians are laughing. Our bathroom guy, Pat, comes in and we had to tell him what's going on. He immediately asked about the crab legs.
Of course. It's the main thing. A raccoon in an attic is not surprising. It's the king crab legs that really separate it out.
Just building a nest, eating king crab legs in the middle of the countryside. Where the fuck did it get those from? He asked. We don't know. We don't eat king crab legs. The electrician.
Oh my God.
The electrician stayed out of the attic for the rest of the day and worked on other rooms instead. But everyone who called us gave us the same answer. Can we set up a trap next week and just wait 7 days to catch these raccoons? I guess that's protocol for capturing an attic raccoon. But we didn't have that kind of time. We needed our electric redone right away. And this delay would have just grounded us with one 3-prong outlet. I'm not saying we're living in a death trap, but let's just say I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes worrying I forgot to unplug our microwave. So, finally, April, the partner, gets a hold of a wildlife professional. Chris was on his way. We dubbed him Critter Chris. So Critter Chris... meanwhile, on Twitter, people are asking me to take photos and videos. No way I was going up into the attic. It was very nice of everyone to keep us company and offer support, but everyone on Twitter apparently is a raccoon expert. As time goes on, Critter Chris goes up there. As time goes on, we start getting concerned that there could be babies and other raccoons up there. A real situation.
There has to be some sort of supply chain for the king crab legs. There's not just one raccoon getting king crab legs and coming back. Somebody's bringing the king crab legs over.
Yes. So
and it's a raccoon who looks a bit like a small man, so he can like get away with going into the restaurant for them.
He's a sea cat.
That's a twist.
He has his own boat. It's Critter Chris.
It's Critter Chris.
Yeah. Critter Chris.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan twist. Critter Chris finally arrives, ready for war, wearing a gas mask. He has tons of tattoos. He has a raccoon trap. This was like this man was like Dog the Bounty Hunter, but for suburban critters. After 20 minutes, Chris comes downstairs empty-handed. He was shaking his head vigorously, and we immediately imagined the worst. It wasn't a raccoon family. It was 2. So, then there's an update days later, and this is my favorite part. At Yoda, Drew writes this. Okay, folks, here's the latest update. What a ride. It wasn't a raccoon. It was a possum. So already, Horrible. More importantly, it was not crab legs. It was some sort of flowering thing. Everyone is safe. Several hours of suspense based around a monster raccoon with a fortress built from crab legs. In the last 10 minutes, you find out it was actually just a possum with some flowers. Everyone can debate who the real monster in this story is. Well written, Drew Olenoff at billypenn.com. Sometimes...
Do you think this is the sort of case that legal people will use when they say you can't trust a witness's memory on trial? That they're like, Your Honor, what some people think is a raccoon with a crab leg in your attic. Other people will know for a fact to be a possum holding a flower. It's just how you look at the world. What do you remember? You know, humans paint their own stories depending on hunger. Maybe your man was like, I love some crab legs. They were eating crab legs. Oh my God.
I love that story.
The jumps. But that ties back into what you were saying earlier. Humans love to create an over their story, an explanation where we go, it's got to be this, instead of just dealing with what is actually happening right in
front of them.
That's
exactly.
Right. Oh, God, I love that. But don't you just love picturing a raccoon in some abandoned house just going to town on, I guess, donated king crab legs in an attic? It's so beautiful.
It's just sort of, and that they're families, because it's a very easy dish to get a bucket of crab legs. So it strikes me as four raccoon tired parents who are like, oh, I can't cook again. I'm so tired. Will we just get crab legs? Yeah, let them eat out of the bucket. Never mind forks and knives. Just let them eat it out with their hands.
I'll draw some butter.
Aisling, thank you so much. We run out of time with you, but tell us everything we need to know about this way up about Home Alone.
Plug my butt.
Plug your butt.
So yes, the new Home Alone movie called Home Sweet Home Alone is out, I think, November 13th.
Great.
And that's another show where it's made by Disney, so I don't think they have much of a marketing budget, and it would be really great.
Yeah, they don't have any money.
Disney's
broke.
They'll be fine. So you'll hear about that, no doubt, in your algorithms. But if you could watch the second series of my show, watch the first series first, please, on Hulu. And if you like it, tell all your friends. If you don't like it, tell your enemies, tell Critter Chris or whoever you don't enjoy or like. And then they'll have to suffer through it. But I would really appreciate it.
Aww.
Is there hope, Aisling, of a series 3 for this show? Is there?
I don't know. It was pretty hard to make the second one. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
I definitely need a little bit of a break for a while.
The fact that you're writing every single episode too, that's just...
Yeah, I write it all myself, and then I'm in it all myself, and I did a lot of the edit this time round and stuff like that. And it just, that's... there's a song over here, which is like a garage song called like Too Many Men, Too Many Men. And that's a song. And I feel like this one was too many jobs, too many jobs.
Yeah, too many hats to wear. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see how the rest of the year goes.
Well,
just having a bit of a laugh.
Fingers crossed for season 3. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Scotty, for wearing your O'Neill t-shirt I just spotted there as you leaned back. Oh, O'Neill, that looks like an Irish t-shirt, but I bet it's like Boston Chowder Company or something, is it?
No, it's
I think it's a California surf company. But you know what?
Okay.
They came from Ireland. There weren't any O'Neills native to California, so they came
from
here.
Door to Shore to
That's
surf company.
Thank you.
But anyways, guys, thank you so much. I've taken up enough of your time.
Thank you.
And the listeners. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Love you, bye.
But one of you I love more. Ooh, though. Goodbye.
Well, that has been Bananas.
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Produced and engineered by Katie Levine.
Theme music by Kahan.
And all of our artwork is done by Travis Millard.
You can follow us on Instagram at The Bananas Podcast, where we post stories every day and things that we don't cover on the podcast.
Listen, subscribe, and please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast.
And if you're interested in advertising on Bananas, please email us at thebananaspodcast@gmail.com. That's thebananaspodcast@gmail.com.